Greetings, demons, and welcome to Warhammer Weekly, episode 42. So this time around, we actually do have, and by we, I mean I, actually do have something to talk about in terms of pickups. It's only, the regular subscription I get every month, but still something to talk about in there. But then we'll get straight into topics, which we don't have too many of, though we've got quite a bit to discuss, as much as that makes no sense. We'll get into it right after the pickups.
Not the leader of a cult, RabbitWithAxe.
So, as said in the intro, the only thing for pickups this time around is, of course, Stormbringer, and we have all 4 issues from this most recent month. We've got 40, which includes the Spirit of Durfu? I don't know. It's a, not Seraphon, a Sylvaneth model. I was going to get that wrong for a second there. Then we also have, in issue 39, we have Reichland Fleshshade and Aphonian Camo Shade paints. So, if I'll actually let me show you them. There you go. Very nice. Oh, we also have part 2 in issue 41 of the Spirit of Durfu. So, there we go. We've got the full model there. And then, for issue 42, we have what looks to me like some sort of rock gremlin creature. We have Moloch the Mighty, a very nice character for Orkoids. Definitely cool. I like the little bat squig that he comes with as well. Very nice little set there. But yeah, that is everything for pickups. There's not very much at all, but there we go. That is pickups. Let's get into the topics. So, getting into the first topic, we have Ulfak Blackhawk. I'm butchering that name, but this is a brand new character from the whole book series line, and yeah, this is the main character from the Big Dakka, which is a brand new book, I do believe, that has come out. But yeah, this guy looks absolutely excellent. Ulfak Blackhawk, he's a boss. He's just a big boy orc, got some big boy weaponry. He's got what looks like a Halo gravity hammer. Interestingly enough, he has, like, a Tesla gun, which is shaped like a pistol, but is clearly too big for that. He has a little squig, which is actually holding his big gun, and, yeah, genuinely just a really, really nice miniature. Honestly, a lot of things I like about this, and definitely something that I'm going to look into getting, as much as, I don't really read that many of the books. Orc books are always fun. And alongside this miniature, obviously, the Big Dakka is coming out, and we're also getting a special edition of Brutal Cunning, which is a book I've been meaning to read. So, I might end up picking up Brutal Cunning and the Big Dakka. I don't know why I'm struggling to say the Big Dakka. It's not really a tongue twister, but yeah, it's a very nice model. I really do like this model. It'll go very well with all my other random orc stuff. And it is the kind of stuff I like. It's the wackier side, the more squig heavy side, and it's not all covered in animal hides or whatever. It's not that aesthetic, which I do appreciate. I like to see squigs in use by the more militaristic factions of orcs. I just like that in general. But yeah, this guy looks great. I like everything about the model, honestly. Probably a pain to paint. But at the end of the day, the way I paint orcs, of all the factions, the way I paint orcs is so cheaty that I feel like Necrons are simple because they're just, I paint them silver, they just put a grime wash on them. But with orcs, I purposely make them as bright and bombastic as possible, which very much benefits me because it means I don't actually have to worry about making like shadows look real and stuff. But yeah. Brand new orc, brand new character, and what I'm sure will be a fine addition to my I was gonna say squig army. That's not accurate. To my orc army though. And moving over to Necromunda, we have another brand new squat, and this time around it's a squat champion, fitted with a mining laser, and yeah, he looks interesting. He looks neat. I'm not going to say anything too strongly about this character. He's very basic, I will say. He's nice. He'll make a fine addition to my squat army because he's another one that I'm probably going to end up picking up. I like my Necromunda squats. And, that's what I run as my Leagues of Votann. I run Necromunda squats with an odd few actual Leagues of Votann models. And yeah, this guy will just make a great addition to that. I love the fact that he has both the robot arm and the robot leg. I wonder. I think I saw Kirioth, I think, discuss about this. It might be that the reason why he's got that, and I think he's also got a metal plate on his head as well. It's possible there was some sort of accident relating to the mining laser that he's holding, some sort of explosion or some sort of immense damage that was caused by it. But yeah, I like that kind of potential storytelling. He has, of course, a bolt pistol, or not bolt pistol, but the dual barrel revolver sort of thing. He has his little robot arms, one with not chainsaw, one with like a circular sword, and one with a light. Just a very nice model in general. Of course, this is going to be Forge World resin. I've come to the conclusion that, realistically, I don't mind having to get things in resin when they're things I actually care about, and I do care about Necromunda squats. So, yeah, I'm fine with this. But, yeah, the squat champion, he looks very good. I actually do really like him. As simple as he is, he has a lot of nice little design quirks, I suppose, that really do make him stand out. And yeah, this is the kind of guy. Normally I go on about how, oh yeah, it'll be a leader model for my Leagues of Votan. This is the kind of guy I could just fit in with my normal troops, and he'll look pretty normal. He'll look pretty nice. But yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't seem to have a helmet option, like the actual dome helmet. But I'm sure I can figure that out. If I actually got this model, I can swap out some plastic parts or whatever. But yeah, very, very nice. New squat champion. And yeah, moving on. And over into Heresy Thursday, some Horus Heresy, some 30k. We have a brand new Alpha Legion Saboteur. And I'm going to just throw it out there. This guy doesn't look like he came out now. The posing, the, like, stature, like, I know he's in the modern 30k, squatty marine, the modern smaller marine, firstborn marine, whatever, scale. But I don't know if it's his shoulder pads are too big, the cloak makes him look too small, his head's too large. There's something about it that makes me think that this looks to me like a model that came out in like 2005, It's so weird because it has the modern aesthetic, but it looks out of scale, and I don't know how to explain it. It just, to me, it looks lovely. It looks like a lovely model. I love my Alpha Legion, If it wasn't the fact that I already have one blue Chaos Legion, I probably would also play Alpha Legion properly. But yeah, there's something about the overall aesthetic of this model that I'm just not jiving with, and I don't know whether it's down to the posing. He's a bit wide legged, or if it is something to do with like the shoulder pads being too big or something. But there's something not quite right, in my opinion, and it's kind of unfortunate because it is a very nice model, very well detailed, and it's just another Alpha Legion to add to the collection. But just, I don't know, there's something about it that is just putting me off. It just looks old, even though this is a brand new model. And of course, this is, once again, Forge World resin, as with most Heresy? Fair enough. Horus Heresy models that we've had recently. But yeah, this guy looks nice. I do like him. There's something about that scaling, or the proportions, or something that is really throwing me off, and I don't like it. But yeah, it's an Alpha Legion soldier, it's an Alpha Legion Space Marine. Can't really complain too much. And yeah, I'm sure rule-wise it'll be pretty good on the tabletop, but that's not something I focus too much with 30k. But yeah, very nice model. Just some weird things about him that just put me off slightly. But that's neither here or there. Let's move on to the next set of topics. And the reason that I say the next set is because we have the Advent engine from the 3rd to the 9th. And yeah, there's a lot to go over here. So I'm going to be somewhat fast and loose with it. But starting off with the 3rd of December, which is last Sunday, we have some sign. And it seems to be 40k sign, but it basically says Sector 136450566. I don't know if that means anything. I believe it says Minefield. So, presumably something to do with Mortarum, potentially AdMech, but I'm leaning more towards Militarum with it. Barbed wire on a sign, little skull. It's very, very much Imperium. I'm not sure exactly what I say. I think it is probably some Admil, but yeah, I can't be too sure. I like the aesthetic of it. I'm just not confident in saying anything too specific, but yeah, probably Adeptus Militarum. Could be wrong there, Imperial Guard sort of stuff, but yeah, moving on. We have the 4th of December, and this time around it is well, I guess an animal cloak of some description. I'm assuming very much this is either going to be something in AOS that I'm just not too familiar with, or this is a Space Wolves model. I don't know what Space Wolves model it could be, but it's a cloak with animal hide on top of it, and there does seem to be some, ribbons of, parchment potentially, so leaning more towards Space Wolves than anything else, but it could mean anything. There could be a million different AOS or even like 40k things that would have this aesthetic, so at the end of the day, I'm not holding my breath on it being Space Wolves, but I have a feeling it could be, and that's important to me. As someone who does like Space Wolves and was very close to actually making a Space Wolves army at one point, I'm interested. I'm interested in seeing how this goes. If this is a Space Wolf model, I'm very interested. If not, no harm, no foul. But yeah, that's for the 4th of December. So moving on to the 5th, and this one's kind of interesting. So I think what it actually is a branch of a bit of terrain on the base of whatever this model's supposed to be. Though it does also just look like an antler, and I'm assuming that's why they've chosen this as part of the Advent Engine event, because it definitely just looks like some sort of, deer antler or reindeer antler or whatever. Just, it has that aesthetic to it. I think it is definitely some sort of plant, some sort of, branch, some sort of tree, but yeah, there's not really too much to say about it. It looks like, as I say, it looks like a tree, it looks like a branch, but yeah, it is interesting they've gone with an image like this, just when it does have that potential of being, an antler of some description, but yeah, I'm not throwing any suggestions out there. I don't really know what this is going to be. So moving on to the 6th, and we have a stack of papers being held by a ghoulish hand. So I'm assuming this is going to be something to do with Death faction in AOS. I'm not going to throw out specific things because I always get it wrong every time I try and specify which Death faction I'm on about. But yeah, we do seem to have, a zombie-ish hand, or a ghoulish hand anyway, holding a book, which does seem to have some pages falling out of it, which is a very interesting aesthetic. I wonder if there's going to be a smaller character on a larger character's base, potentially. So it's like its background, like, imagery, so to speak, for a much larger, more imposing character. That'd be very interesting, but I don't know. As I say, I'm not going to throw out too much of a prediction on this one. It looks interesting. It looks cool. I bet actually painting those book pages is going to be a pain to have them with any level of detail. But yeah, can't complain about some nice books in 40k or 30k or AOS or Old World or whatever it is. But yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm moving on to the 7th of December, and if this isn't Orks, I will be absolutely shocked, because this is just scrap being put together. I'm not going to suggest anything other than this is 40k Orks. If it isn't, I'm shocked. But yeah, you got some wooden planks, you got some random bits of metal, some spiky, some knot, chains wrapped around things. You've got just a lot of things that just point in the direction of this being Junkyard Orks. And yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for getting more Junkyard Orks. I do like that aesthetic. And yeah, there's not really too much else to say about it. That's what I think it is. I may be wrong. I doubt it, though. I think this is going to be Orks. But yeah, that's for the 7th of December. And moving on to the 8th of December, we have what looks to me like a servo skull. It's a skull attached to a bunch of electronics. I'm assuming this is probably something AdMech related. I definitely lean towards Imperium at the very least, but there's not really much I can say about it other than that. It does appear to be draping some sort of paper. I struggle to say it's parchment or anything that we'd normally see, but just maybe this is for some sort of AdMech character who's keeping track of something. I don't know. I don't know AdMech lore too well, so I can't really make a prediction on exactly what it's going to be. But yeah, if I was going to guess, I'd say this is probably a servo skill for an AdMech character. And beyond that, I can't really say too much. It looks interesting, but, we'll have to wait until we actually get the full reveal of the model before I can really say anything major about it. And lastly, we have the Advent Engine for the 9th of December, and I'm definitely with this one leaning towards it being AOS. It could be either, it could be any of the various, game modes that Games Workshop produce, but it's a lantern with a flame being almost pulled from it, which looks pretty interesting, or maybe like smoke being pulled from it. I'm definitely leaning towards this being either Chaos or Death faction related, and other than that, I can't really say too much. It's very generic, it's a lantern, but the fact that smoke or fire or whatever it's supposed to be is being like pulled from it is just very interesting. It does throw up a lot of potential questions, but yeah, overall a very interesting little image there, and that is all for the Advent Engine for this week. So as I say, I'm going to be going from Sunday to Saturday each time. So I know these go up on Sunday, I just don't have the ability to cover something that hasn't come out yet, and, as of recording, every single week, Sunday's Advent Engine won't have come out yet, but, yeah, so that's all of them for this time around. We're actually getting, we're on to day 9, it's going to be day 10 tomorrow, as of recording it is going to be tomorrow, and, yeah, it's just, there's a lot of stuff already, a lot of very interesting imagery being shown off, and overall just very interested in seeing where it goes. But on that note, that is going to be it for this video, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like it, subscribe for now and hit and ring that bell so you never miss upload. Otherwise, comment below thoughts, feelings, anything like that on any of the things that we've discussed in this video. Of course, I'd, want to hear your thoughts mainly about things like the brand new Ork model. I think that's very interesting, as well as, are you getting bored of seeing squats from Necromunda? I'm not so far. I'm quite enjoying seeing squats again, but I know a lot of people get tired very quickly of certain things, including myself usually. You only have to look at Legions Imperialis to see how quickly I get bored of things, but yeah, at the end of the day, there's a lot to discuss, even if most of it is Advent Engines. Give me your thoughts in the comments below, and otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!
Look at the screen, you'll be fine. Culture's a disease, but worlds divine. I just wanna take